Hello, hello. This is the first video we're gonna try, which is more of like a matchup analysis rather than just a raw battle report. I don't really know a better way to do this other than just talking over a VOD. If anyone has any better ideas, let me know, but that's basically what I'm gonna do here, and I'll try and annotate some things and sort of talk through my thought process, what I think George is trying to do, and so on. A little about this game. So this is a test game that we're doing for a team event that's coming up. George and I are on different teams. So we already went through the pairing process. This is WTC scoring. Um, and basically, the goal of this pairing was to try and get a tie or as close as possible and to not really push for points. So that's just a little bit of context to think about when I'm going through this or when George is playing, why maybe some of the things that are happening. I'll try and talk through some of those things. This is the WTC train. This is map 6.2, I believe. In the mission that we're playing, actually don't remember. Oh, it's Reboot. We're playing Reboot. So the first thing that happened that wasn't in the recording, and I'm just going to keep it paused here for a second, was side selection. Um, so when looking at this map, basically, um, I'm thinking about staging more for Battleclade than myself. One of the things that I measured out was that I actually can't get my tunnel like to this side of the wall and legally place it on turn 3. So the best thing that I can do is basically aim for like one of these spots to sort of peek my tunnel through if I wanted to peek through the other side of the map. So the other thing that I'm looking at is sort of like staging. Um, these points are really all the heavy staging that one can get on this side without a heavy barricade. Oh, and this little one here and here. On the other side, I think it's a bit better because you have this whole little rune, and you also have a piece back there. Um, I won the roll off here, so I actually opted to select side. The main reason was it wasn't even really a benefit for me. It was hopefully a detriment to George, where this rune right here is, I think, the best staging point that he has with access to mid or to just come back to his home if he needs to reinforce it, and he can just dump a shitload of guys there. So I really just wanted to prevent that. This also gives me a staging point to leave guys on the board relatively safely. So that's why I did that. As far as equipment selection goes, George took a razor wire. He took a heavy barricade that you can sort of see here. You can see 2 lights, and then he took the reserve cells, which give him basically like the extra APL if he hasn't done a shoot or a fight when he network counteracts. I took 2 lights, a razor wire, uh, 2 stun grenades that you can see there, and then the D3 healing. From my side, I really just wanted to protect my home here. This is why I'm taking these lights, and this is why I'm taking this razor wire. I wanted to make it like really, really difficult for him to get there. And my whole goal was to basically sit one lone guy here on my home point, just play the reboot thing, just secure me some points. And then the rest of them can sort of play aggressive and play try and come through mid. And you'll see me put my tunnel basically. I sort of do something like this throughout the game. I didn't take the double retain because he can get saturate through his auto proxy very easily. All he has to do is see me, so I was like, that's a waste of time. I did consider acid blood because he's 8 wounds, and if he takes the 5 up, feel no pain, it can get sketchy for me a bit. But my sort of rationale for this was uh, he has to spend CP on that, so I'm sort of fine taking that risk if he's spending CP on that. I know the team like there's a lot of good ploys on Battleclade that they're going to want to spend CP on, so it sort of just like taxes him if he wants to do that. Um, and if I ever just roll, 4 hits or 5 hits, he's just gonna die anyways. Um, but yeah, that's sort of the equipment. That's sort of what went down. Um, I'll just sort of play the clip here. I'm probably gonna fast forward through some parts of this and just talk through things that I think are interesting. As far as deployment here goes, what I've done is, I mean, the guy's arms clipping through the wall, but back here, I basically have my Rekka and the Venom Spitter. One of the other things that I was like really, really aware of, because I only have 5 models, when he places his leader here and he can get ceaseless, I want to deny that as much as possible because there's only 5 guys that he has to scan throughout the game. So the longer that I can postpone that, um, just the better it is for me. So I basically check the sight lines and everything here. He can't see me from either way here. So there's going to be no scan in the strat phase of TP1. So that was something that I was pretty aware of when I was doing this, and you'll sort of see that throughout TP1. I'm just going to fast forward through some of this because it's just boring as deployment. So yeah, this is all I put on the board. And the whole reason around that was I didn't want to get scanned. That is the main reason. Everyone else is in the tunnel. I think in a lot of matchups, I will put everyone out in the open because there's no reason not to. But um, yeah, that's sort of the reason I did that. Trying to see. Oh, something else I will talk about equipment here is I actually placed first, and I think I did my razor wire or a light barricade. I can't remember which one I did first. And George put this razor wire, and this was a mistake by me. He basically measured it out so that he can fit through this, but I can't, which is super annoying for me. Um, so I probably should have put a light barricade over here just to block his razor wire and leave enough space for me to come through. So I think that was a mistake in sort of terrain placement. This light in particular, it didn't really do much, and it sort of impeded me throughout the game. I basically, the whole reason for it is if he comes through this door, he's a 5-inch move team and he can't really get anywhere going this way. He's never going to be able to get to my home unless he's staged right up against this and goes dash and then move. And then this way, it basically stops him from ever getting a sight line down here where he can shoot anyone staged at this door. So a little bit more context. Where are we here? Uh, so yeah, another thing here, this is near the end of TP1. I made sure that my Venom Spitter couldn't be seen from this because again, didn't want to get scanned by his leader. Um, my Fell Talon's over here, Venom Spitter's here, Tremor and my leader are in the tunnel. I opted to place my Rekka on my home point. Um, I think that was a mistake, and you'll sort of see that in the future, and sort of my tunnel placement. But yeah, a lot of what I'm thinking through right here is just, is there anything I can threaten with my Venom for the future? I took 2 stun grenades, so a lot of what I'm trying to look for here is just opportunities to get some stuns off and just sort of stifle his turn 2, stifle what he's capable of. He can get rid of the stuns with a firefight ploy, but he can only do it on one guy, and he can't network counteract if anyone's stunned. So I'm more just trying to be annoying with the stuns here. Um, Another big thing I forgot to talk about, sorry, was tac ops. Because I'm looking for there's a lot of reasons why I chose what I did. So I chose Dominate here. One that lets me play super passive in TP2 and basically not give him, hopefully, any value in TP2. I'm happy to go down a little bit on crit if I need to, but I just want to play safe and have a big turn 3 and a big turn 4. It's sort of my goal here. Um, so I took Dominate. I thought about plant devices because if I can play like just plant on his side, especially in a team environment, getting those guaranteed 3 points is really, really nice. Because I can't get to his side easily because this is such a long board, I basically abandoned that idea. Steal intel is too intensive. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any track enemy, and I'm not going to take route or anything because that's just too aggressive for the purposes of the game. Maybe if I needed a big win in a team environment, I would take route and just say, fuck it, I'm going to full send on TP2 and just go fight and just go balls to the wall, but that really wasn't what happened here. So as you can see, George sort of assembled the card Exodia here where he's got the +1, the +2, and the reroll. I won the roll. I'm going to make him go first, and I'm going to take the CP is sort of what's going to happen here. There was a few things that happened here. His leader still can't see anyone, so I basically stopped that from happening. His leader can do a reposition thing here, which you'll see him do. The main thing that I'm going to point out about this turn that I screwed up is he is going to end up using his guy who breaches holes in walls, breach a hole right here. I should have paused the video, sorry. He's going to breach a hole right here, and this is sort of one of the major mistakes and things that I didn't see in the game that starts causing a lot of problems. Um, so not a lot interesting is going to happen here. I think I get the CP from my leader. Yeah, I already did that. I'm not really going to do anything this turn. we did reboot. It ended up being on mine, so I ended up clearing the reboot and just chilling here. He scanned my record. There wasn't anything I could do about that against the guy in the home. Something else that I messed up was I didn't measure before the game started. A 40 mil can't actually fit through here. I don't know if that's actually how the board's supposed to be or if it's just a TS thing, but this ended up causing me a lot of pain just for charges, for movement, getting a flat cover line where I could see out this side. It was sort of a big pain in the ass and something I missed. I don't think much of anything happens here for a long time in TP2 just because we're playing the safe KG game. A lot of what I'm sort of looking for with Battleclade is, what is their actual threat range that I'm concerned about. So a lot of the times it turns into a move dash, which is 8, and then another 3 from the Underseer making them dash and then network counteracting. So it's like 13 inches realistically, which is quite big. So I'm pretty aware of that as far as like when I'm doing stuff. Um, Something that got missed here, and I'll see if I can scroll back to it, was I don't know if I can find it, but basically my Venom is right here and he's activated. What I did do with my Venom staging is I moved him up to here, and this is a 6-inch bubble. I threw a stun because he clumped all of his guys and tried to stun 3 of them just to like cause a bunch of bullshit. I think I only stunned one of the guys. I really wanted to stun his leader to stop him from doing some shit, but that didn't end up happening. So um, that's sort of what I was trying with my Venom. And then he dashed back to where he was. I didn't have any good shots, and I didn't want to do anything risky, so that's why he's doing that. Then what you can see here, I'll pause the video again. He did the breach token here, and this was something that I didn't see and sort of caused me a lot of headache because what you're going to see with this leader right here is he's going to move dash, shoot this guy who's already been scanned, and this was the sort of play line that I didn't really see when all this was going down. Because he has all the initiative cards, this sort of means a dead Rekka. I won't spoil sort of what happens later, but this Rekka really should be dead as far as going into TP3. Now he's not going to get 2 shots into me, and he does have a 4-up save and the reduced damage on damage of 4 or more, but he does have ceaseless. I think he has the balance play up, so he gets balanced as well. So I'm going to end up taking a lot of damage here, and this was one of the main things that I didn't see, and honestly, what I wanted to avoid with all of my equipment and stuff. I need to think through it more, but really I want to stop movement through here if I can, so maybe it means the razor wire like this, but that's sort of how things are going to be playing out. I'll see if I can get to that shot. He's not going yet. What he's going to be doing here is he's just waiting out to make sure that I can't do any sort of counteract and then shoot the guy who's about to come shoot me. So I think that's the only shot that's going to happen this turn. And he's going to do it as his last activation. So here we are. So he moved dashed here. And basically he's going to rip a shot. Oh, the other big thing, this is reboot, right? So, and this is why I should have had my prime here, and this is one of the first mistakes that I made in the game, was we're both 3 APL here. I didn't prevent him from getting here, whereas if I had the prime here, he's going to be, 1, no rerolls, which is really big against Ceaseless and Balanced. And then the other thing is I treat him as 1 less, or I treat myself as 1 more, whatever the wording is on it. I would have controlled this. So I basically lost a crit point here and took a bunch of free damage, and I think this was really, really bad for me and something George did really well, and put me on sort of the back foot when I did. So he is 2 crits and a hit here. I save normal. Oh no, and then I think he rolls his balance dice because he forgot to or something. I think that's 12. Yeah, I don't remember how. I took however much there. Sorry. So that was the end of the turn. I took a bunch of damage. And basically that wasn't good for me. I lost that reboot point. He's going to get 2 on crit here. I'm going to get 0. I have 0 on my tack up. He took retrieval and he's retrieved 2 points so far. So this really isn't looking great for me. I didn't think I was in a good position here. Sort of what we're about to see. I'm spending a CP here to try and block a, yeah, so I block a crit and a normal. Um, and I took 8. Oh, he had accurate. That's what it was. That's what I was missing. He had an accurate dice back here. He took the accurate play. Oh, this is probably the shittiest thing that happened in this game where George should have had this initiative. He has +3 in a reroll. He's gonna reroll here. I rerolled a 6 because I'm a freak. Or I rolled a 6. I think if this doesn't happen, so I'm gonna get the initiative here, and George is sad. I break ties because I gave him first. So now he has a plus. Now he has +6. This really shouldn't have happened. George played to like the expected outcome here with what he did with his leader and everything. Um, this shouldn't have happened for me, but that's the nature of the game. Sometimes the thing that shouldn't have happened happens, and then you have to play around it. So I got a bit lucky here. Um, and we're gonna go. I'm sort of gonna blow my load on a bunch of ploys here. I think George is going to strat move his leader and switch his order, and then we're gonna sort of kick things off. I end up taking the defensive rerolls when I'm on my tunnel, or if I burrowed, I end up taking the ceaseless fighting or balance fighting. Um, and I think that's it. I don't take ride or anything. So something important that hasn't, like, my Venom still has his descended sack because I didn't end up shooting in turn 2. Um, we end up 3-2. 1 I think is his home, so his home gets is inert because of reboot. Which is really, really good for me here because I just want to sit on my home point. So yeah, my first activation here was basically he did take the 5-up Feel No Pain here. I'm charging this guy. I was behind that wall. I basically have a blast line because of the way he set up to do all this breaching and stuff into these two guys back here. Yeah, so you see me checking the targeting lines here. I'm going to end up hitting his leader. I'm not going to get 3 here. Basically, this is charge fight with Ceaseless, and blast the other two. So he has 2 hits at the moment. I have Ceaseless, fail. I am going to end up spending a CP here just because I want the 4 hits. If I get 4 hits, the way that this ends up playing out is because I have a crit and he doesn't have a crit. I can always kill him. What's going to end up happening here is he has the 5-up Feel No Pain, and I'm really concerned about me going hit you for 5 with the crit, going down to 4 with the Feel No Pain, him parrying, and me hitting him for 4, and him making another 5-up Feel No Pain, and then I'm stuck in combat with him. If that happens, I don't get that 2-man blast off, and my game's sort of screwed, so I spend the CP. I don't hit it here, so I'm a little bit worried, so I hit him with a normal. He's gonna roll a 5-up. So now I'm sweating a little bit at this point because I'm like, if he fucking does it again to me, I'm gonna lose my mind. But he doesn't here. Sucks. So there you go. So he dies. Then I take my blast. So this is lethal 5 because the sack's distended. 5 attacks into these two. Um, yeah. So this going well, and you'll see me spend a little bit of CP here just because me getting a triple kill is a huge start to TP3. And I'm in relative safety. So that is 2 crits, 2 hits against the primary target, which is one of the dumb little servitors. He just makes 1 save, so he's taking, that's 10, 13. And then I shoot into his leader. I get a crit and 3 hits here. And I believe I'm going to spend my CP because his leader saves on 3s. I tell him to wait. I go down to 2 CP, or 1, I don't even. So now I have 2 crits, 3 hits. He makes 1 save. He gets bounced because he's on the point. He makes a crit and a normal, so he's taking 11 at the moment. If he makes all 3 5-up Feel No Pains here, he will live. He doesn't, spoiler. So I kill his leader. I kill a servitor, which I think was just a flamer. And then I kill the guy that I charged really another flamer. So as far as like the start of TP3, where I really shouldn't have had this initiative, is about as good as it can go. Um, he also dropped one of his retrieval tokens, so that's just more APL he has to spend on mission actions now. I'm on my tunnel. I have 20 wounds. I have relentless defense dice, so I actually feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. What he did here is he moved the breacher guy. Yeah, the breacher guy to go and fight my, going to shoot my Rekka. So it's piercing 2 because he's within 2. I have a 4-up save. I can't remember what happens here. He has balance. Yeah, he's balanced. So he has a crit and a hit at the moment. Didn't see what he. Oh, he rolled both dice. So he rolled another hit. So he has 2 hits and a crit at the moment. I'm gonna roll my 1 dice. I think I make a save. I don't even remember. Don't make the save. So this is 4-5 that goes down to 3-4. So I'm on 12. So I take 6, I take 10, I go down to 2. And I'm pretty happy with this because there's no more threat on my Rekka at this point. So I'm like, okay, I'm safe. This is the next big misplay that I make. For whatever reason, I space on network counteract, right? So I'm like, that guy's gone, my Rekka's safe. But in reality, my Rekka's not safe. And you're going to see him punish me for this. What I should have done is probably shoot, charge, fight that guy, or just move out of 2 so he can't shoot me and still be on the point and on conceal. I probably should have just moved and been on conceal. He could move his auto proxy and then go force that guy to dash and then tell him to network counteract, but maybe the best thing was to do something with the Rekka, right? Because I lose an activation here. For whatever reason, this is actually the Fel Talon. I don't know why I grabbed my Prime. I said Fel Talon when I'm doing all this in the video. You'll see me swap the video later. I'm unburrowing. I'm charging into all 3 of these guys. So this is a Melta, a Flamer, and his Underseer. And I'm gonna fight his Melta and kill his Melta is what's gonna happen here. So that is another really, really big swing for me. I'm stuck in engagement range with 2 guys that don't want to fight me. I'm killing a Melta, and I'm in his backlines now. Something that I was intentionally doing throughout this game is I'm not really going for his big gun servitors, and that was on purpose. The gun servitors hit on 4s. I haven't given him much ceaseless. He can get balance, but only one of the gun servitors is on a point. I'm actually more afraid of the flamers in my mind than I am of the big gun servitors, just because they're so consistent. It's going to be 4-4 on 2s rather than the big guys who are hitting on 4s. So the big guys are just way more swingy. So I'm willing to take the risk into them rather than the flamers who are just going to like beat the piss out of me. So he is falling back with a flamer here. I don't really know where he's going. I think this was maybe a mistake from him. I don't really know. I'd have to ask him. But he is falling back with just a flamer, and he's falling back in a position where I'm going to be able to charge an expended guy with my prime, which is the next thing I'm going to do. And I was quite happy with this because it gives me like pretty much complete safety. None of his guys are going to want to fight my prime. He is. Oh, he fallback, used a reserve cell, network counteracted with the breacher that was on my point and kills my guy. And I was like, fuck, I forgot about this. So this screwed up a lot of my plans because now I have to bring another guy over to my home. With the way that I'm playing my tunnel, it's actually a big giant pain in the ass for me to do. So this was maybe the biggest mistake I think that I made in this game, other than maybe the TP2 stuff. I still feel like I'm in a pretty good spot, but this screwed up some of my plans, especially with my Tremor, because the Tremor is the one that I'm going to take over there and try and do stuff. I'm going to play aggressive with my Prime. Next thing I'm doing here is just taking the Prime. I'm going to go charge that expended guy. I think I throw a stun at the big gun servitor to just be annoying, make sure he either has to reposition and then network counteract shoot or just network counteract to shoot. So I'm really just trying to be a nuisance. You can see me switching the Fel Talon for the Prime because that was actually what was supposed to happen. Then I'm gonna go charge the expended guy and throw a stun. Maybe there's a world where I go and try and kill his understeer and charge into the gun servitor that I just stunned. Because if I stun him and then charge into him, he has to spend CP. He's only on 1 CP um, to fall back with that guy and then potentially get a shot, right? So maybe that was actually a better play. I just thought about that right now. I don't know. I hear I'm thinking about if I want to do this with my prime. I end up doing this with Tremor. I'll try and fast forward. Yeah, so you can see I ended up doing the thing with my prime that I talked about. I ended up stunning this gun servitor, I think. Yeah. So now he goes. He's gonna rip a shot into me. I have relentless defense dice here, so I am pretty okay with taking this, and I'm just biding my time with this guy to try and get my counteract to just go burrow with my dominate token. So he is accurate, I think. I think this is just 2 hits. I think I'm gonna end up eating 1 here. It is piercing 1 because it's the guy, and I'm stunned. Oh no, I'm not stunned. He didn't get a crit. That's what happened. I don't know what we're talking about. Probably nothing. Okay, I'm rolling my dice. I'm on 5s. I make 1. I get relentless, so I reroll it into nothing. I end up taking 4. So I'm quite happy with this. I have 1 more activation to go, and then I can burrow him. So that's the first thing that I'm trying to do is just burrow this guy. I have 3 dominate tokens on him, and I'm going to score all of those at the end of the turn most likely. So that is everything that's going through at the moment. So this is where I go with the tremor. I basically had to reinforce my home because I'm burrowing. I get 2 inches less of movement, and then I dash. I couldn't make this charge. I checked the charge, so I'm basically going to go here on conceal, and then you'll see me later order switch and then charge into this guy. I'll be on the point. I'll be 3 APL. He's only 2. Um, and yeah. So he has left his underseer, his auto proxy, and the other gun servitor. So I think he does some pretty cool stuff here, which is network counteracting and getting the shots off that he needs to. Um, it's actually very spooky. Like I waited until TP3 to fight, and I killed 4 guys unanswered. I stole 4 activations from him, and you're gonna see I still just take a shitload of damage, and it's still very scary for me. Um, he falls back here. He tells that guy to dash. No, he tells that guy to rip a shot. So I think it's accurate. Uh, that is a crit, so I'm stunned now, which is a little annoying. It's a crit in 2 hits. I don't think I make any saves here or something like that, or I take 10. A relentless into more nothing. Sort of a piss off. If I take 14 damage here and go to 2. Um, sort of one of the things I fucking hate about Rekkas, where like relentless defense dice and I'm just taking 14 damage there. He didn't even roll especially hot there or anything like that, but if this didn't get set up in the way that it was, or like he was slightly more lucky on a previous shot, this guy's dead and I lose all 3 of my dominate tokens, and then I definitely lose the game. So maybe I'm just shit, but yeah. The next thing that's going on here, so I get a counteract. Is he telling someone to dash? I think he has to tell someone to dash here, and he's thinking I believe he does his big gun servitor. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, so I didn't actually burrow here. Um, I forgot. So I need to be on this point to control it for reboot. So I switched my order to conceal. I basically checked my sight lines here where that gun servitor, even with a move dash, is what I measured out where I skipped ahead. Couldn't actually get an angle on my venom. So I basically just checked all the threat ranges of everything there. He went and told the guy who was engagement range to fight um, my prime. I think he did some damage. I pulled him down to 1. And then we're going into TP4. So at this point, I got 2 on reboot last time. He got 1. And then he got, no, he got 0 on last time. What else happened? I got 3 on dominate. Oh, that's the thing that happened that we have to go back and watch. It's freak. So right here, he after he fell back, he dashes the heavy bolter here. Why it's so hard for me to round on S control. Yeah, so you're gonna see him here. He dashes, or he moves and tells someone to network counteract. Oh, this is still measuring shit out. I charge into the guy on the point. I switch my order. I don't know why I can't find this. Seek properly with tools, I'm sorry. Right here is I think the roll. He basically got uh 4 hits and a crit against my Fel Talon with his heavy bolter. I think he pretty much just one-shot my Fel Talon. He goes to 2 or something like that. He was on 16 because he took a crit before, I believe. I think I'm just dead here is what ended up happening. I made 1 save, yeah. They just like one-shot my Fel Talon, so yeah. We'll go back to TP4. He has first activation here, and this is where it starts to get like quite squirrely. Um, I writhed my Venom Spitter here because he basically has 2 options here to go for. My Prime is on almost full. I think he's taken like 3 or 4 wounds. So I'm pretty confident about this. This is a no reroll bubble. Um, so if anyone's going to eat the shot, it's going to be him right now. I writhe him. I have him tied up on my home point. I believe what he ends up doing here is he ends up falling back with his guy from an engagement of the Prime, and then he reserve cells and tells the heavy bolter to shoot. Yeah, so I'm sort of skipping past the dice rolls because I can't control this shit well. He almost one-shot my leader. So again, just with like all of this, these heavy bolter shots, if they do spike, it's just like they almost just one-shot me. So it's very, very fucked. And this is another spot that I felt like I was not in a good spot now. My Venom Spitter's on 2. I've lost 2 guys. Um, my leader's on 3. And I have a full wound tremor on my home point. The center point here was rebooted or is inert this turn. So I have no dominate tokens at the moment. It doesn't look like, because he out activates me, it doesn't look like I'm likely to control the center point just because he has more bodies than me and I'm at such low wounds that he can almost just like charge fight any of the guys that are there. I could fight first if that type of shit happens, but you know. Again, this is a teams game, so I'm like relatively cognizant of the score and trying to keep it tight. So once at this point something else bad happens that I'll wait until it comes up, but I'm really just trying to keep it as close to a tie as possible, and not bleed too many points. I really don't want to take any more risk here because I'm in an okay spot as long as I don't give him too much, right? So that's a lot of what's going through my head, and you'll see me have to take more and more risk that I don't want to as sort of things continue to go a little bit sideways. Here I go with the Prime, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shoot that guy, and then I'm gonna move and I'm gonna burrow. I'm hitting on 4s now because I'm injured. I get 1 hit. I have 2 CP. At this point, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I need my CP for. I really want to kill that guy on 2 because I'm 2 kills away from a kill op break. So I'm like also quite aware of that, and I'm counting that as we go. So getting this kill and going back to relative safety just helps me keep the kill grade close. There's another guy on my home point that he probably has to activate next, or else I go up a kill grade. So I'm like, shit, that's not good. I really need to kill this guy. He's saving on 4, so if I get 2 hits through, there's like a semi-decent chance that I just kill him. So I'm gonna dump my CP here and just try and get the kill. Is basically what I'm trying to do, and then I'm gonna burrow. The reason I can burrow here even in turn 4 and still be in safety is because I'm gonna get counteracts. I can counteract unburrow, and as long as I'm on the board at the end of the turn, I'm still fine. So I'm like aware of that as well. I spend a CP, I missed it. Then I'm pissed off, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm spending another CP. Because I'm really, really, really trying to get this kill to make the later activations a little bit easier, where I don't have to take risk. I do end up getting it, so I get 2 hits here. He's going to roll 2 crit saves and a normal save, and then I'm charging, and then I'm burrowing. What's happening? I'll get my prime to safety for now, and then I'll bring him back onto the board later, somewhere hopefully risky. The next thing that I think he does, I think he falls back with the guy that was on my home point just to be. And this was the other guy that I sort of had earmarked for my kill op. I think he falls back to the other side of the wall. Something. I don't know. We'll see. The score's 7-6 right now. He hasn't retrieved my home, so I'm like pretty confident he's going to be clamped on 4 on tack. As far as for me, I've gotten 3 so far. I would like to get 2 more so I can go up to 5 on dominate. I would feel pretty good about that if I'm ahead on him. I'm really just trying to think about like how can I go even or win on 2 of the 3 scoring metrics. So we're even right now on crit. We are even on kill. So I'm trying to figure out a way like what is one of these ones where I can push it in my favor or just keep it tied. And I'm behind on tack. So it's a really, really close game at this point. Oh, fuck George doing. Fast forward. Oh, he fought me. Fought me for whatever. I ended up killing him. Um, I then ended up activating. What I'm trying to do here is I'm aware of this breach marker now after fucking it up early. And I'm trying to block him from getting onto my home point. He used the ploy that gave him an extra attack in melee here, and gave him an extra attack in melee and makes him count as +1 APL. Oh, that's the other thing he missed. His breacher man ended up fighting me, so he's a power weapon, which I forgot about. I think he rolled 3 crits and a hit or something like that, and I'm down to 10. I think I went down to 8 after everything was said and done, and then when I activated, I healed 2 on my D. So yeah, the whole purpose here is to just block his movement through. I was really aware of like your base can't fit, so you can't charge me to the other side. You can't move dash. You can't do anything. So this is all about blocking. Uh, Here comes another play that I thought was really really cool by George that I didn't even see. I didn't measure out. It just caught me off guard. He ended up move dashing with this guy. And the purpose of this was so he can break this line. He moved dash to here so he can just break this line and just shoot him. Normally you can't do that, but because of the way network counteract works, he just move dashes and tells him to network counteract and then blows me off the board. So I thought this was relatively safe because the auto proxy didn't have a gun. I'm like, if you want to fight me, you can fight me, go for it. I did not see the shot. I didn't even take it into account, and it was something that another thing that I think I fucked up quite a lot. I thought I had a counteract here. I forgot I still have my Venom in the tunnel. Someone when we were playing reminded me of this, so I ended up taking this part back. We're just checking the sight lines and everything here. So he's just gonna get the shot here. We're still dicking around. So then I'm like, fuck. So then it's my actual activation. So before the counteraction happens, or before the network counteract happens, and I'm like, I have to go with my Venom. Um, my Venom's stunned right now, which is also really, really shit for me. And I'm like, I have to do risky stuff now because he's about to kill 3 models. and I don't have a great way to do this. So I'm like, I have to take risk or I'm going to lose the game because this auto proxy can just come to my home point, sit on it, and then someone else can network counteract and tell him to retrieve. So this is like a huge point swing and a huge play by him that I just didn't see. So I'm like, fuck this. I need to do like basically stupid shit now and just play to my outs. I'm only 4 attacks because I don't have my sack distended. I roll like a fucking maniac. This is a blast shot into the guy that was on 2 and then his other servitor. So that guy was on 2. I rolled a bunch of crits, so it didn't really matter. And then I roll like ass here into his servitor, and I think I do no damage. So that's just 2 normals. They're each 3. I think he saves them both. He saves them both. And I'm like, fuck. I could have network counteracted and try and shoot the 11 wound guy, but I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. And because I think he needs to do that next, um, I just sort of abandoned it. My thought there was I'm going to kill the guy on 2 and do some wounds onto the guy on 11. If I can do some wounds onto the guy on 11, my prime can come out and just kill him. So he is going with his underseer now. He's telling the guy to shoot. Spoiler alert, he's going to kill my tremor. I'll just turn on the audio so you can hear the end of this.
Yeah, dash him onto the point.
Yep. So he's activating, making him dash, and then making him shoot. He makes his underseer. He makes his guy dash onto the point. Thinks he's going to be. Or I don't really know why it's inert. This is
piercing 1. Yeah, heal.
And it's 3 hits. 4, yeah? I need A5. Well,
I think I'm just dead, and
I think I roll no saves and just die. Is what's happening.
Okay. This guy's also gonna shoot.
I mean, yeah, doesn't matter. There we go. Yeah, I'm down 3 guys now. I need one more kill to tie his, or I think I need one more kill to go to 4. I need 2 more. I'm on kill grade 3 now. I need 2 more to go to 4. So I'm like, fuck. My Venom's gonna die now because I'm never gonna get a chance to burrow him yet. And then his leader just so this is fucked. His leader rolled 2 crits and a hit. 2 crits, 2 hits into my Venom on 4, and then I rolled 3 crit saves. This is one of those things where I'm gonna pause the video and just chat about this. Like, I thought I lost the game at this point, right? I thought I was just out. I thought there was nothing I can do. I'm just gonna lose the game. But mentally, I was like a little bit resigned, but in actuality, shit like this can just happen, right? Like, it's a stupid fucking dice game. I thought I was dead there. I'm not dead, and now I get a counteract, right? I still have a Venom Spitter that's alive on 2, and I'm gonna get a counteract. So this guy has a dominate token right now because he's killed 1 guy, and now I get to go with him again. So remember what I do here. I don't remember what I was looking at here. I don't remember what I was doing. I basically wanted to check his match charge range because if I could charge with my Venom into this guy and just sit there, I think I was happy with that just to get my 1 dominate point, but it wasn't. So basically what's happening here, and something I need to sequence and be important about is, it's my counteract right now, and then he has 2 guys left, so I'll get 1 more. If I took a risk and shot his unactivated guy, I would limit myself to 1 counteract, which I really, really, really don't want to do because I need to bring my prime out of the tunnel, and I think I end up chatting about this a little bit here. So Yeah, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot you. So I'm gonna shoot the, I think 11 wound servitor, I think is what I ended up doing, or I shoot a sleep. Yeah. So you hear me sort of chatting about that there. Um, so I roll a crit and 2 hits, he just dies. So that another thing, right? Oopsies. He probably shouldn't die to that most of the time, but he rolled like ass and I rolled well, and then I get another dominate token, right? So just like playing to my outs at this point, and what looked like a lost game 2 activations ago now feels like I am in an okay spot. Now the next thing that's going to happen here is he's going to go with his gun servitor. I think he, well, he's doing. This is move dash, so he's going onto my home point. Um, I don't know why he went on my home point there instead of going with the gun servitor and shooting my guy. I think he feels like me, and to be fair, I thought this was quite risky as well. Me going with the prime here and fighting him is a good idea because he probably kills me in his own activation and then he gets his. I'm on 6, so here's where I'm counting the score. Here's where I'm like, okay, what is the actual like total of the game? I've been doing like an okay job of like keeping track of it, but I want to know like he has no really more decisions to make, so I can just play with open information, share my primary and share all this and figure out my score. So I was just like open talking in the game. Um, and basically it boiled down to I felt like I needed to risk this, right? Because this puts me up to kill grade 4 and he's still on kill grade 3. If I kill his last guy, he can't get to his home. He doesn't hold a retrieve token, and I am +1 on kill up, which means I go to plus another +1, right? So it's actually quite a big swing here. I have a no reroll aura. I have no rerolls myself. We both have no CP. Um, and I'm 4/5 rending. So I am basically praying that he doesn't get 3 hits and I don't whiff and shit like that, right? So I believe he's also brutal, so that also factors into stuff. So I'm just like going through the motions and counting everything and talking through shit, and I'm like, fuck it, YOLO. Um, I'm 5 on 4s and he's 3 on 4s, so we both sort of ass. I roll like a psychopath. He just rolls a crit. We both have no rerolls. This just turns into parry kill for me because it's 5/5/4. Um, and yeah, that gives me another dominate token. It kills his last activation. It prevents his attack op. It prevents his crit op. He's holding no retrieval tokens. Um, and now you can hear everyone just yapping about how much max rolling there was, and there was, to be fair, like him one-shotting my Faltal and him almost one-shotting my leader, and then all the shenaniganry that I pulled. But um, I think this is just a good lesson in it's a dice game. There's, you know, you're not actually out until your dude's dead. You can just roll fucking 4 crits, right? And you're going to be in bad situations in a lot of game, and it's just about how can I play to my outs? How can I still make the best decision possible to keep it as close as possible? And I think this is one of the really, really cool things about a team tournament where there's a lot of just games where you're just like, okay, if I'm just playing in a singles tournament, okay, I lost, whatever. But in a team tournament, like every point matters here. So if I'm losing, I need to prevent myself from losing by a large margin, right? So even when things feel grim, you still have to just like grind it out, play for every single point. And I think that's what part of making the team event really, really fun and interesting. Um, I think this ends up a bigger blowout. I think it was 13-8 in the end. We're sort of fucking around with the scores and saying what ifs at this point. I think it should have been much closer than this. I actually think should have won the game. based on some of the things that happened. I think he outplayed me on T2. I think he pulled off a bunch of moves that I just wasn't factoring into my what I was doing. Um, and then the initiative stuff. But I think I played to my outs pretty well, and I think that shows near the end. So I don't know, just a good game. Let me know if you guys like this type of content. Yeah, thanks for watching as always.